Hi, welcome to IS-15, and this is really one of your first projects. So this is the Canvas Inbox project, and what we're going to do in this project is learn how to use the Canvas Inbox. Now, the Canvas Inbox is the preferred method of communicating with your instructor for class-related items. I prefer to use this because it helps keep everything organized in one location for that class, and it doesn't get lost in an email inbox where I may see 20, 30, 40, 50 emails a day. So it keeps all of your emails and your messages connected to the classroom. So in this assignment, you'll demonstrate how to use the Canvas Inbox tool successfully to send me a message. So the instructions for this are simply to send me a message using the Canvas Inbox tool. And in your message, you're going to include a two-line with me as the instructor. You're going to include the subject line that has a course name and the section number, and a message body. So you'll type your name and the student number at the top, and then answer the question, what do I expect to learn from this class? So let me show you how to access the Canvas Inbox tool, and we'll see how to create that message. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select on the left hand side on the dashboard, we have this navigation bar, and I want to select the inbox button. When I do that, it looks a lot like an email inbox, and that's essentially what it is. I have a list of messages on the left. At the top, I can look at all the courses. I can look at emails for favorite courses, or I can even find more courses that I have access to. I can even select concluded courses. In this case, you'll probably use all courses. You'll look at your favorite courses here and then select the current course to send that to. In this case, I have the IS-15 Computer Concepts course. Now, you'll likely see a course number and a section number, so you should see something that looks like IS-15, and if it's a summer session, it might be 55-238. That's our section number, and the term, which is 2020 summer. Now, depending on when you're taking this course, it's probably going to be later than that. So just bear in mind that information will be available at the top of the screen. So I don't need to select any particular course in order to send a message. I simply need to go to the top, and I'm going to look for this box over here that looks like a square with a pencil in it, and it says compose a new message. So once I do that, a standard screen will pop up that says compose message, and at the top I can select a course. So for here, I can select this Computer Concepts course, and then in the to line, I can select all, I can select teachers. I have two teachers in here. I invited a colleague to join me, so I could send him a message, or I can send myself a message. You're going to be sending me a message. So select my name, Jason Boyer, and in the subject line, you're going to put the course name and section number. So for instance, I'm going to put IS-15, and then I can put a fictitious 50866, and then 2020 spring. Now, whatever your section and term is, that's the information that you'll put here at the end. Don't put this information here because that class has already ended. Okay, so down here, I'm going to start my message line. Dear Mr. Boyer, no, I'm not in the habit of addressing myself in the third person, but it does. But for the sake of formality, I'll put that in there anyway. My name is Jason Boyer, and my student number is, and then we'll put, make up a number 0765432. There we go. Okay, so it's a made up number. And then I'm going to ask the question, what do I expect to learn from this course? and then I'm going to say I expect to learn, and then I'd like you to write about a paragraph or so. Explain me what you expect to learn based on what you know about the course already, and also what things you might like to learn. Occasionally I use that as feedback to add things to the course or to know how to steer some of the lessons. So please give me that feedback. Once you're done, of course, do your closing. I always do an R/ in these regards, and then your closing signature. Once you're done with that, hit send, and that's it. Very simple. So go ahead and submit that. When you do that, I'll receive your email. Now, of course, I'm not going to receive an inbox message for myself. It goes right to the sent items, but it will pop up in my inbox. When you do that, I will go to this module, and you'll notice that I have down here for this Canvas inbox project, I've already put a rubric on here. And I'd like to show you this rubric. This rubric, now I've assigned 20 points to this assignment already. This rubric tells you how those points are broken down. If you correctly address a message, in other words, you send it to me, you get 5 points. If you don't, I'll never receive the message. You simply get 0. On the subject line, if you have the correct course name and section number, you get all full credit. If you're missing one of the 2 items that are required, you'll get half credit and then no credit if you don't put anything in there. And that's another 5 points. And then the body, if it includes your name, student number, and answers the prompt, you get the full credit. If you're missing anything, you'll get partial credit, 5 points. And I may mark that down even further if you don't have much of anything in there. So please do your best on this. It's worth 20 points. Okay. These rubrics you'll see on a lot of our assignments. Those rubrics will be in place so that you know what I'm looking for and have an idea that I'm grading fairly. If I don't have a rubric, most of the time it's a check. Either you completed your assignment or didn't. So great time to talk about those rubrics. If you have any questions about them, please ask me. You can use the Canvas inbox located here on the left and ask me the question. Thanks.